Here we are. Welcome, respected friends, to spend 1 hour in creating some Shastra Samskara, Shastra Adhyena habit and Samskara, Shastrokta Jnana Prapti Prayatna Samskara. Here we are to put our mind little for Adhyatmikata. Here we are to train ourselves to take out time from our busy schedule, wanted or unwanted, we don't know. We have no right to comment, but to take out some time for our busy schedule to little bit apply it for the Guru, the Bhagavan, and something spiritual. So these are the samskaras. Even if we do with minimum of attention, etc., form in us and definitely have their influence to help us in future. But each of these sittings, the classes, each of the shlokas that are chanted, thoughts that are discussed, if we have taken them sufficiently seriously to the heart and even started contemplating on them, backed by the desire that I must know the tattva said by the Shastras intellectually, and I must experience it because time and again in all Shastras it is said that knowing the truth indicated there is the hetu, cause for the moksha. I want it. Even this also, if it is there in our heart, we are so lucky, so great. You know? So here we are for that purpose only. That 1 hour developing our concentration, our shraddha, our meditative poise, our knowledge about the truth, our remembrance of Guru and God. In all, as we belong to Sanatan Dharma, Vaidika Samskriti, Bharatiyata, justifying it, then we are correctly, thankfully placed by the Lord here. Welcome, friends. Salutations to you. Greetings and gratitudes to you. Congratulations and prayers together. We are studying Yoga Vaashitha Maharamayana, Tritiya Utpatthi Prakaranam Leelopakhyanam, PARAMAKASHA VARNANAM will be done. Before that, LEELA, both of them in that Giri Grama, their own, her own way of life lived in the earlier life, she is narrating to mother. Vasishtha tells that to Rama, and it is written in the Shastra by Valmiki ji. We are studying it and noting it. So, what are the lessons learned from that by us is what? This is how a life of a person, non spiritual. Spiritual means attending to Paramatma only as the goal. Anybody other than that, the routine goes on like this. Another thing, through yoga, Siddhi Shakti, Leela could know what happened in her earlier life. So, this is the purpose of this Sarga. Few slokas, maybe up to verse number 9 we saw. Let us see from 10 today. Let us spend 2-3 minutes in our everyday Mangalacharana slokas. Om 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 Sahanavavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhetamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Om Namo Brahmadibhyo ब्रह्म भक्ति योग धर्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः येरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्य प्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्व वेदान्ताः सच्चास्त्राः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम् ॐ शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ॐ श्रीराम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं रामनामवरानने ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि। परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्मभक्तियोगधर्म विद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रीरामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे श्री वशिष्ठ विश्वामित्र वाल्मीकि वेदव्यास वामदेव नारदादि श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायणादि शास्त्राणाम् आचार्येभ्यो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात् उपनिषद योग वासिष्ठ महारामायणोक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्य बोधेन अस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्ष कैवल्य प्राप्त्यर्थं श्रुति स्मृति पुराण इतिहास संतवाङ्मयोक्त साध्य साधनानुभव सिद्ध्यर्थं तत्रोक्त ऋषिमुनि गुरु देवता दर्शनानुग्रहानुभव प्राप्त्यर्थं सनातन धर्मस्य वैदिक हैन्दव संस्कृतेः साम्प्रदायिनां शास्त्राणां मोक्षमार्गाणां गुरुशिष्य परम्पराणां भक्त गुरुशिष्य परम्पराणां भक्त भगवत परम्पराणां श्रुति स्मृति पुराण इतिहास शास्त्राणां ज्ञान भक्ति योग वैराग्यादि प्रक्रियाणां पुनरुत्थान जागरण विश्वव्याप्ति द्वारा विश्वाध्यात्मिक प्रगति एकता शांति पुरोभिवृद्ध्यर्थम अस्मिन् सनातन धर्म संस्थापने कंकणबद्ध अस्माकं सह सर्वेषां गुरूणाम् आचार्याणां श्रेयभिलाषिणां महानुभावानां भक्तानां शिष्याणां साधकानां सेवकानां श्रोतॄणां पूर्ण आयुरारोग्य ऐश्वर्य क्षेम स्थैर्य धैर्यादि समस्त शक्ति संपदा सानुकूल्यता साधना प्राप्ति साधना द्वारा बाह्याभ्यंतर शत्रु विघ्न निर्मूलन द्वारा सनातन धर्म संस्थापन कार्य नित्य निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थम श्रीराम मंदिरवत् शिवकृष्णादि मंदिरादीनाम् आश्रमाणां पुण्यदिव्य क्षेत्राणां विश्वविद्यालयादीनां भूभागादीनां पुनर्वाप्ते तेषु निरंतर शास्त्र अध्ययन अध्यापन उपासना यज्ञयाग सेवा साधना तपस्या प्रार्थनादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातन धर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यन्तर शत्रुविघ्न शाश्वत समूल निर्मूलन पूर्वक भारतवर्षे विश्वे च अस्मात् क्षणादारभ्य वैदिक हैन्दव संस्कृतेः धर्म मोक्ष पुरुषार्थानां सुसंप्रतिष्ठावाप्त्यर्थम् अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां सर्वेषां महानुभावानां संकल्पित सत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयः तेषां हृदये परब्रह्म भगवद् देवता गुरुशास्त्र सत्संग साधना सेवा माता पितृ देश धर्म सनातन धर्म भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्म साफल्यार्थम् अनेक शास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये श्री वाल्मीकि महर्षि विरचित श्री राम वशिष्ठ संवाद रूप श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायण स्मृति मोक्ष प्रकरण शास्त्रस्य पारायणम् अध्ययनं साधना प्रयत्नं मुक्त्यर्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। मंगलाचरण श्लोकाः ओम यतः सर्वाणि भूतानि प्रतिभान्ति स्थितानि च यत्रैवोपशमं यान्ति तस्मै सत्यात्मने नमः। ज्ञाता ज्ञानं तथा ज्ञेयं द्रष्टा दर्शनदुष्यभूः कर्ता हेतुः क्रिया यस्मात् तस्मै ज्ञप्त्यात्मने नमः। स्फुरन्ति श्रीकरा यस्मादानन्दस्याम्बरेवनौ सर्वेषां जीवनं तस्मै ब्रह्मा नन्दात्मने नमः। दिवि भूमौ तथाकाशे बहिरन्तश्च मे विभुः यो विभात्यवभासात्मा तस्मै सर्वात्मने नमः। ओम सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तमेकमजरं नित्यं विभुं शाश्वतं प्रत्यग्ब्रह्मरसायनं सुखगनं पूर्णं परं पावनं स्वात्मज्योतिरनादिमध्यनिधनं मायाविलासैर्मुहुः विश्वाकारमपास्तमायमभयं वन्दे विशुद्धं पदं। ज्ञानादेवात्मनो मोक्षः न तु कर्मसमाधिभिः अज्ञातोऽसौ स्वसदृश्यं सृजत्येवेति कथ्यते। ओम तस्मै श्री कीर्त्यते। ओम तस्मै श्री गुरवे वसिष्ठमुनये नित्यं नमस्कुर्महे। विश्वामित्रमुनिं शरण्यमनघं भूयो नमस्याम्यहं तस्मै वाल्मीकये श्रीगुरुतमगुरवे भूरिभावैर्नताः स्मः। पूर्णानन्दस्वभावः स्वजनहितकृते माययोपात्तकायः कारुण्यादुद्दिदीर्षुर्जनमनवरदं मोहपङ्के निमग्नम् आविश्यान्तर्वसिष्ठं बहिरभिकलयन् शिष्यभावं वितेने यस्संवादेन शास्त्रामृतजलधिममुं रामचन्द्रं प्रपद्ये। ओम श्रीरामचन्द्र परब्रह्मणे नमः। वसिष्ठादर्शिभ्यो नमः। योगवासिष्ठ महारामायण शास्त्रं तृतीयोत्पत्ति प्रकरणं लीलोपाख्याने परमाकाशवर्णनं नाम एकोनत्रिंशतितमः सर्गः। श्री वसिष्ठ उवाच। So we have seen all the activities that she has done in her earlier life in that house, around that house she is narrating so many things beautiful. So bhartu kulakari bharya, I was doing all that is uchita to the kula of my husband. Doha manthana shalini, I was so expert and regular in doing the mathanam, the churning of the buttermilk, etc. Mata Sakala Putranam to give birth to so many children. Atithinam Priyankari, always giving that joy to the guests, whoever are coming, by doing Atithi Seva, Atithi Satkara. Then Deva Dvija Satam Bhakta. See, these were the samskaras she got from her parents, also in the in-laws' house, and that maturity. Bhakta means with all the bhakti taking care of Deva, the Devatas, Dvija, the Brahmanas, Satam, all the Satpurushas. So Deva, Dvija, Satam, Bhakta. Then Sikta Angi Gruta Gorasaihi. So it's a sign of always engaged in the karma that all our hands and legs are always smeared with Gruta and Gorasa, the ghee and all the milk related products. That means she's always engaged in the work required to be done to maintain that house of so many children and such a big family and the guests coming and going. She is not a lazy woman. Wonderful to know, isn't it? Then Bharjani Charukumbhadi Bhanda Upaskara Shodhini. Though I was always engaged also in washing all the utensils that are used for cooking, serving, and all that. So this shows, okay, right from that time onwards, the Indian women folk are that way engaged in the Gruha Sambandhi Kritya, taking care of all even now with all the modernization of the world and with women folk equally working with the men in the offices and all. Still, that beautiful tradition is going on in 70%, only 20-30%. Thoda sa change hua. How long that will be? Again, what is important that will be thought over by the wise people. They will engage in that. So, Nityamanna Lavaktaika Kachakambu Prakoshtaka. So, always my hand and bangles are with Anna Lava. Akta means either because of cooking, or because of serving, or because of feeding, or because of utensil washing. कुछ भी हो हमेशा वो कुछ न कुछ अन्न हाथ में रहता ही है into that bangles. So she just remembering how she used to be the whole life that we engaged. Then the beautiful thing is Jamatru, Duhitru, Bhratru, Pitru, Matru, Prapujani. In short, all the related, the daughter, the sons-in-law, as daughters and sons-in-law, and mother and father, and then daughters also, brother, sister. I was engaged in taking care of all of them. Prapujani. Prapujani means with so much of the love in the heart, I used to take care of them as if the devatas are taken care. Mast hai na sunne ko? Then in that way, adeham. Adeham means as long as I was in the sharira. Sadma Vrutya eva. I was always the Vrutya Sevika of the Sadma, that house. Prakshina Dinayamini. In that way, my days and nights were fully engaged. Then Vacham Chiram Chiramiti Vadini Anisha Makula. I myself was doing all the things engaged and also was prompting others also. मैं तो खुद कर ही रही थी, but that was not enough. All other sisters, whoever are there, children are there, mainly the Mrutya servants, I used to shout at them, Vacham Chiram Chiram, Jaldi kar, jaldi kar करके. Isn't it? That way, during our peak time of the life where we can and we have to be active, we have to be so. खुद करते हुए सबसे कराने वाला ओ डायनामिज्म एंड एक्टिवनेस. अब इतना करते करते वन थिंग वाज मिसिंग, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. शी नोट्स नाउ व्हाट वाज दैट मिसिंग. काहम का इव संसारः इति स्वप्नेपि असम कथा. काहम का इव संसारः. हु एम आई and what is this my own personal entanglement with all these things, samsara, and what is the world in front of me in such a big one presented or present. About this swapnepi asam katha, even in dream, even once also, I never had a questionnaire thought about this world. See that how many people in the whole world this way engaged in the Grahakritya and Vahyakritya as well as Bhoga Adi, that this question of who am I, what is this world, what is this life going on, never contemplating. है ना, like in Bhaja Govindam, no? कस्त्वं कोऽहं कुत आयातः कामे जननी को मे तातः इति परिभावय सर्वमसारं विश्वं त्यक्त्वा स्वप्नविचारम्. I was never doing this vicharana at that time about who am I, what is this samsara, where from all this has come, where from this jagat has come, including what is the ultimate goal or purpose, where it is achievable. Then what about my husband? He says, Jaya Shrotriya Modasya Tadrushasya Eva Durdhiya. My husband, Shrotriya Moda, means what he has heard or studied in Shastra, he took it so literally, always engaged in that Yagni Agadi Upasanadi Karma. Beyond that, he did not think. And I am his Jaya. I am not even allowed also, and I was so busy also like him. So, Shrotriya Modasya Durdhiya Tadrushasya Eva Jaya. मतलब in a the way she says, it says that कि बस हम एक दूसरे के ऐसे जुगलबंदी थे, दोनों का ऐसा ही तालमेल था. He was also studying the Shastra and busy in the Yajnas Upasanas. He was prompting me to also to take care of Atiti and Graha. So I also understood and accepted what he said. I was also engaged. Both of us that way, fully busy in Graha Kritya, never thinking about the Vedanta or spirituality or the Paramatattva or the truth. Like today also you all are living your own life. How you are so busy with your wife, children, husband, and the people coming and going. And some of you even grandchildren, great grandchildren. आप ग्रेट ग्रेट ग्रैंड चिल्ड्रन के शादी में भी आप बिजी हो और प्रे भी करते हो जल्दी जल्दी शादी हो जाए ताकि एक क्लास बंक कर सके. अब मैं क्या बोलूं. Like us only she was always engaged in it. And these things, because of our sankalpa, they come because of sankalpa, they keep on continuing. A time should come in our life to understand that to get lost in samsara, to get out of it, enter into spirituality, it is our sankalpa, prarthana and prayatna. Nobody to be blamed. ये एक दिन हमें समझ में आना चाहिए. Next one, continuing. एकनिष्ठा समिच्छाक गोमयेन्धन संचये म्लान कंबल संवीत शिराल कृशगात्रिका. So ekaniष्ठा. I was always ekattvena nishtha. Single pointedly I was committed. एकनिष्ठा. एक ही काम निष्ठा. क्या था वो? समित. समित means the wooden things for samidha as the for yajna or cooking. Shaka, the vegetables. Gomaya, the cow dung for making cow dung cakes, etc. Indhana, the other twigs, etc. Sanchaye, Ekanishta. I was throughout the day busy in collecting the required groceries, vegetables, etc. and other things. एकनिष्ठा समित शाका गोमय ईंधन संचय. कुछ कुछ आप घरों में भी होते हैं ना, that way में फुल बिजी किचन में क्या है क्या नहीं 24 घंटे देखते हुए. Then they tell servants or children or husband or herself goes and brings her nowadays online. है ना, फिर सब्जियां नहीं है, एक हफ्ते के लिए पूरा ले आओ. चावल खत्म हो गया, आटा हो गया, वैसे 2 किलो ही बचा है, वो तो आप एक ही टाइम खा लेते हो. गेट सम 10 kg. सो आई वॉज सो बिजी एकनिष्ठा. यू कैन फील एट होम ना. अच्छा, हमारे बारे में भी योग वाशिष्ठ में लिखा है. देन ऐसा करते करते टाइम तो विल नॉट स्टॉप. तो म्लान कंबल संवीता. म्लान ओल्ड dilapidated. Kambala, some cloth. Samvita, putting on myself to cover myself. Shirala Krusha Gatrika. As we have already seen, Gatra, the body limbs are Shirala Krita. They are now exposing all the nerves, etc. So Shirala Krita Gatrika. तो इनसाइड शरीर इतना थिक थिन हो गई और कवरिंग हर सेल्फ विथ दैट कंबल एटसेट्रा. These women folk engage so much in the works, and also the Upavasa Dikshas, the variety of festivals come, करते करते अपने खाने का रेस्ट का ख्याल ही नहीं करते. And then this is how they become. So she is happy also that that's how she could serve and engage. She is just narrating to us how the earlier latest life was as Brahmani Arundhati. So for one learning for us is we are also supposed to engage like that, of course with Niswartha Bhavena, Seva Bhavena, and we have at least this story as a support for us to know that let us do Sankalpa to come out of all this and seek Paramatma. ये तो पक्का पकड़ना चाहिए. And instead of yourself understanding, accepting it, don't object or question to me, Swamiji. If everybody this way engages in spirituality, then who will take care of the world and worldliness? है ना? ये सब ऐसे चिंता मत करो. The samsaris are there. They will take care of the world. We have to always napo apna rasta towards the ultimate. Whenever such thought of spiritual sadhana comes, immediately the universalization, generalization, nationalization thought comes that if everybody engages in sadhana, array is everybody engages in sadhana, who will take care of samsara? Don't worry, plenty of jivas are there, they take care. You grow. Much more things you can think. We have sufficiently shared. Next, Tarnaki Karnajahastha Kruminishkasa Tatvara Gruha Shakayana Seka Shakayana Seka Satvarahuta Karpara. So Tarnaki Karna. Tarnaki means the calves, etc. Karnaja to their ears, calf. हस्तक कृमि निष्कास तत्परा कि कीड़े मकोड़े कान में जाते थे वो गाय वगैरह बछड़े का. तो then the cow used to get disturbed or the calf, she didn't know what to do. Then I have to go there, hold that and remove from her ears the krumi etc from the ears of that calf. That I remember all of that. Then gruha shakayana aseka. So gruha shakayana means for the kitchen garden, you know, to make those plants, to protect them, variety of काम होता है ना उसमें. सत्वर आहूत करपरा. So I used to shout at the servants to come with all the farming instruments, छोटे level का, and together we used to engage in that work. है ना, ये सब आप लोगों ने भी किया होगा. As the summer rainy season comes, before that पूरा पानी डाल के जमीन को that खोद के then making place proper and even sowing the seeds, and when the seeds sprout and a big plant happens, then putting them everywhere. So these type of things I was inviting or shouting at the servants to come together, we used to do. Gruha Shakaya. मतलब अपने किचन गार्डन में सारे सब्जियां उगाने के लिए चिल्लाकर सबको बुलाकर इकट्ठे हम काम करते थे. दैट्स द आइडिया. नेक्स्ट, नील नीर तरंगांत तृण तर्पित तर्निका प्रतिक्षणम गृहद्वार कृतलेपन वर्णका. सो नील नीर तरंग, very fresh, reflecting the akasha's blueness, are the waters of the river that's flowing. Taranga anta truna tarpita tarpika. And in that banks of that very good fresh waters of river, lot of the grass. And I used to cut that grass and feed these cows or take the cows there for grazing. That also I was busy in. मतलब एक एक दिन तो सिस्टमैटिकली प्लान करके था, लाइक यू ऑल्सो डू. दिस इज वेयर द सब्जी मार्केट इस दिन जाना है, ग्रोसरी शॉप यहाँ जाना है, टेलर के पास यहाँ जाना है, गहने सोने का उसको ठीक कराने का उस दिन जाना है. तो यू हैव योर ओन प्लान्स ऑफ एक्टिविटीज. और फाइनली सत्संग में कभी नहीं जाना है. आई थिंक that is also part of the plan. Otherwise, why your husband or wife, I'm not seeing them in the class. They plan, ये करना, ये करना, ये करना. नहीं करने वाले लिस्ट. फर्स्ट पॉइंट सत्संग, सेकंड पॉइंट सत्संग, थर्ड पॉइंट सत्संग, फोर्थ पॉइंट सत्संग, फिफ्थ पॉइंट सत्संग, सिक्स्थ पॉइंट सत्संग. Why 6 times? Because I do 6 classes. Nahi karna. So she also telling ki how I was busy. Then pratikshanam gruhadwara krita lepana varnaka. Pratikshanam means every day in the gruhadwara, instead of entrance of the house, kruta lepana karnaka, cleaning the house and watering it, sprinkling with gaudang water and whatever the rangoli has to be done. All the time I used to keep it neat and clean and tidy. There are some people very interested in that. So now you see that Arundhati's life as a Brahmani, how many things she is actively engaged in. That is the expression of life through us. Instead of that, today's women, as a boss. So my servants, they take care. Or some works they do, that's it. On the whole, physical, mental, intellectual, lethargy has creeped in so much. And while doing all these things, how much she must be engaged in her thinking and planning, etc. We have seen all of that. So pratikshanam grahadwara krita lepana varnaka. So grahadwara, because when it is neatly cleaned and rangoli vagara karte hain, so that is an invitation to the rishis and munis and the devatas and all the divine vibrations to come. Example is Hanuman Vibhishana. See, Vibhishana ji has his house, all of that Tulasi, etc. Vrindavan. है ना रामायुध अंकित गृह शोभा वर्णन जाई नव तुलसी का बृंदतः because of that special making up of his house appearing like a devotee truly is a devotee unlike the other rakshasas because of that only Hanumanji stopped there called him and made a discussion and introduction because of that very good gruha suchanas made now see the result of it for Hanumanji also, but because of the context for Vibhishana. That because of advice of Hanuman, Vibhishana went to Sharanagati to the Bhagavan. Bhagavan not only accepted him, he gave all the Upadesha, Jnana Upadesha, Bhakti Sadhana, everything. More than all, and he gave him the kingdom also of Lanka and made him to be the Chiranjeevi till the Kalpa is over. अश्वत्थामा बलिर्व्यास हनुमांश्च विभीषणः कृपः परशुरामश्च सप्तैते चिरजीविनः. An example that when the house is that way, very nicely made, it's a welcome to the Rishimuni. If it is neglected, careless, it's a welcome to all the Dushta Rakshasas or the Dushta Bhutagrahas or the Kide Makode and all the things. Example for this, explanation for this, that Gurhadwara Kruta Lepana Varnaka Pratikshana. Next one, two important slokas. Nityartham Guruha Bhrutyanam Adina Krutavachyata Maryada Niyamad Abdhehe Velevanu So Nityartham, to teach the ethics or the morals or disciplines or surrenders or commitments or regularity and sincerities in the work. To teach them to all the servants that were there at home. I happened to shout at them a many a times. Niti artham gruhabhrutyanam adina kruta vachyata. Adina kruta vachyata means strongly scolding them, telling them. How many times I told you to come on time. आप भी चिल्लाते हो ना सर्वेंट्स वगैरह को तो इतने बार मैंने उनको नीति सिखाने के लिए डांटा नॉट फॉर माई ईगो सेटिस्फैक्शन नीति अर्थम इज अ वर्ड टू बी अंडरलाइन हियर so they have to learn they have to know. This is one. Then what about you? Your own life and its conditionings or limitations or maryada? Maryada niyamat. Niyama, niyamat. Maryada niyamat. Means as regards my own personal living the life of maryadas and niyamas, abdehi velaya iva anisham. Achyuta. Abdehi vela iva. Just like the ocean never cross its limits. If it crosses, it will consume the entire town and village and all. That's why vision ocean वहीं रह जाता है. So abdehe vela iva anisham. मर्यादा नियम में. And Achyuta, I have never fallen from fulfilling all my duties, disciplines, maryadas, etc. देखो कितना बढ़िया है. I should teach the servants all the disciplines and myself never cross the limit like the ocean never crossed the limits. So Maryada Niyamad Abdehe Vela Iva Anisham Achyuta. कभी च्युति नहीं हुई है मेरे व्यवहार में. In the sense, neglecting the household duties, wasting the time with the neighborhood, children not taken care, in-laws are not taken care. ऐसे होते हैं ना लोग अपने टीवी देखने में, अपने वीकली को पढ़ने में, अपने दोस्तों से घूमने में, खाना खाने में, सोने में. They have plenty of agenda. Because of all that, they forget their duties. They fall from fulfilling their duty. I was never like that. Like that, I was living, living, living. I become such a old now. कि जीर्ण पर्ण सवर्णैक कर्ण दोलाधिरूढ़या काष्ठताड्य जरा भीत जीव वृत्येव चिह्निता जीर्ण पर्ण savarna eka, like a old dilapidated dried leaf, jirna parna. I also became jirna. Then eka karna dola adhirudaya. To my ears also, when I was walking, the head also shaking. Because shaking of the head, the ears were moving. Because the ears were moving, the earrings also were moving. Like that, I became old. Kashta tadya jara bhita. So the jara, the old avastha, is like a danda held by someone. It started whipping me only. Kashta tadya jara bhita, jiva vrutya iva chihnita. I was like that. I don't know, suddenly today, 2 3 minutes, I happened to see that in one of the place. Old age home. The people who are taking care of them, making those old women do the exercises. इट्स थोड़ा गैप हुआ बीच में देख के मुझे. When I saw that, it was one thing is encouraging. They were in exercises and all, but other thing is so frightening. Ki like that Gautam Buddha, the thought came. See, that means even I also am going to become so old. वो लोग चल नहीं पा रहे, उनको चलने का ट्रेनिंग दे रहे एंड हाथों का ऐसा ऐसा करने का एक्सरसाइज करा रहे, ऐसे ऐसे करा रहे. दे मस्ट बी अबव 90 डेफिनेटली. Women folk, men folk, and there were some competitions of walking between them. ऐसे ऐसे करके. Some old age home, how they are taking care of. That was the advertisement, etc. But seeing that, डर लगा मुझे भैया. But then डर किस बात का? Well in advance, when we realize नाहम देहोस्मि, well in advance, when we accept that whatever the prarabdha has to happen to the body, prarabdham pushyat vabhuiti nishchitya nischala, dhairyamalambyetnena swadhyasapanam guru. As we have the gurus to guide, when we establish in that clarity of vision, nothing to be afraid. But here, to this Leela, Vald or Uraf, not Vald. Uraf, what's her name? The Brahmani, the Arundhati, she says, I become so old now. The old age has creeped in so much, so much, so much. Okay. Then what happened? Sri Vasishtha Uvach. Vasishtha ji is telling to Rama. Rama also, like me, might have got engrossed in that thought. Vasishtha takes the mic and says, Iti uktiva sancharanti sa shikhari grama kotare. Sancharantyah saraswatya darshayamasa sasmayam. Ityuktva sancharanti. In this way, while talking to Saraswati Mata, she was moving. Where? Sa Shikhari Grama Kotare. In that grama which is next to the Shikhara, and in that grama, in that Kotara, Koti, in her own house. Around that, she was moving in that Sukshma Rupa, mind you. They are not in Sthula Rupa, they are Ativahika Rupa. So Sancharantyaha, while that way wandering, Saraswatya to Saraswati Mata, Sasmayam, with all her Ascharya, Darshayamasa, she started showing also the various objects used or places, I know where worked. In general बता दिया अभी तक, अब पर्टिकुलरली भी बता रही है. क्या है? यम में पाटला खंड मंडिता पुष्पवाटिका यम में पुष्पितोद्यान मंडपा शोकवाटिका. देख देख, like that, not Mother Saraswati. Mother, you see, yam, this one, may, my, patala akhanda mandita pushpavatika. This is the pushpavatika of the patala vrukshas. Akhanda Mandita, the trees were always green, well grown, fully taken care, watered, and from that lots of flowers used to come. I used to use it for puja, etc. ये पाटल वृक्षों का पुष्पवाटिका है. She is showing ये वाला मेरा है ना. Like if some of the elders who died, let us say 80, 70, 60 years back, they happen to in their next life remember this life, है ना, especially in the villages or those places. मैं पूरा इस गांव का बढ़िया था या मुखिया था. I had my 4 5 sons. Then such a huge जमीन I had. Now he looks at it and says, I think now this one is taken by this son, that is taken that one. तो ये तो इसने बेच ही दिया, उसने वहाँ कोठी बना दी, और ये वाला ऐसे ही इसको barren छोड़ दिया. And the third one is given it for something else. तो he must be watching all of that and saying, यहाँ गेहूं उगता था, यहाँ चावल उगता था, अभी गेहूं नहीं चावल नहीं, वहाँ बिल्डिंग बन गया. Isn't it? I always feel it in the शहर where I stay. This place I know from decades together. Such a place, it was full of forests, and those days पहाड़ पहाड़ होते थे. चेक के पार होने के बाद we can't go there. And now it is big, big buildings of 30, 40 stories, floors. And those people of that time, if they happen to come here in Atiwahi के they and see it, अरे क्या हो गया? ये ब्रिजेस कहाँ से आ गए? क्या क्या बन रहा है इधर? So here also she is showing this is the Patala Vruksha Pushpavatika. So to Yame Pushpita Udyana Mandapa Ashoka Vatika. This is my Ashoka Vatika, where the whole Ashoka trees were full of Pushpa all the time. So indirectly what I understand is she is mindful of all those trees and gardens also for the required flowers, etc. Then Yam Pushkarini Tira Druma Agrantita Tarnaka. So this is the Tarnaka, the calf, which I used to tie it to the tree which is the banks of the river. So Pushkarini is the river. Tira means the banks. Druma is the tree. Agrantita tied down. Tarnaka is the calf. This is the calf I used to tie down. Now she must be going for washing clothes, etc. वहां बांध के रखा, नहीं तो पानी में बह जाएगा वो. बछड़ा बांध दिया. She will graze the grass there and sit there. Then yam sa karnika namni tarnika mukta parnika. And then this name of this calf is ki karnika. Tarnika is the calf. Name is karnika. Now I am not there. I died, no. And she's so fond of me. Looks like mukta parnika. She started grazing also. क्योंकि पशुओं को भी अपने यजमान से थोड़ा अटैचमेंट होता है ना. So suddenly we don't see them, they also don't feel like eating. So she is feeling that calf not eating at all. So सा कर्णिका नामनी तर्निका मुक्त वर्णिका, है ना. She is so miserable because of my absence that she is not eating grass. Not only that, Karnika named Tarnika, the other one, the Sakhis of me or the Dasis mainly. Iyam sa me alasa akirna varaki jalaharika. Varaki means the uh, hand, what do you call, house helper women. Alasa, iyam sa me alasa. Alasa means, so not that she's lazy. Alasa means now lost interest in doing the work. Akirna means dilapidated. Varaki is the servant. Jalaharika looks like she is also just taking the jala for the food. She is not eating food. Why? Adya Ashtamam Dinam. Today is the 8th day that I died. Even till data, these women, Dasi, so much attached to me, is in that misery only. Bashpaklina Akshi. Her eyes are full of tears continuously. Pariroditi ro rahi hai. अब ना कुछ कुछ सखियों से, सिस्टर से, रिलेटिव से, फ्रेंड से, समटाइम विद सर्वेंट्स आल्सो अच्छा तालमेल जमता है. सो यहाँ जमा हुआ तालमेल विद दिस विमेन सर्वेंट, शी तो डाइड, शी इज इन द नेक्स्ट लाइफ, नो. But that is 8 days हुआ मर के, she is becoming dukhi still. So adya ashtamam dinam bashpaklinaakshi pariroditi. She is just showing all of that. Now next one. Iha devi maya bhuktam ihoshitam iha stidam iha suptam iha pitam iha dattam iha hridam. Showing all the places. Iha devi maya bhuktam. See, this is the place. After feeding everyone, I used to put food in my thali. यहाँ बैठकर मैं खाती थी. यह देवी मया भुक्तम. यह उषितम. Here I used to uh, uh, sit here ushitam बैठकर. यह स्थितम. This is my room. Then यह सुप्तम. Here I used to sleep. यह पीतम. यहाँ बैठ के चाय वाय पीती थी मैं. यह दत्तम. Here is where I used to give dana either to the animals or to anyone coming. Iha ahrutam. Here is the place where I used to collect all required things and store them. So all of that she is showing to Saraswati Mata. Saraswati Mata की क्या जरूरत है? She is in ब्रह्म ज्ञान. She knows the व्यष्टि and समष्टि माया से ये सारा स्थूल भी कल्पित होता है, सूक्ष्म भी कल्पित होता है, सारे कर्म कर्म फल everything is कल्पित. And you and I studied Mandukya, gone through so much exhaustive, vigorous exercise of studying those texts. You have the clear picture. For us, one thing helps, makes everything to understand clearly. That is the dream. In the dream, the Panchamahabhuta made the vastus, the shariras, everything you see as you see in waking plane. है ना, वहां भी बर्तन होंगे, झाड़ू होगा, वहां भी बिस्तरा होएंगे, वहां भी खाने के चीज होते हैं. इन ड्रीम ऑल्सो यू गो टू द होटल, यू गो टू द पार्क, रेस्टोरेंट, everything. But when you wake up, kalpana. So too, this all appears to be so real. But when you deeply meditate and realize the self, from that standpoint, we know as Arami kalpana. Nothing substantial in this world. If at all something, is nothing but pure Brahman. The Brahman is birth, death, change, modificationless. See that Mahamaya is going on without having this deep knowledge and meditational experience of the self. We are caught up in the Mahamaya Kalpita, Mahabhayankara Jagat of Janmadi Vikar. A jnani, who takes many lives to gain that knowledge through Shravana Manana Dhyana, he visualizes the world to be in different way. He just smiles at it, laughs at it. He knows the position of the world, as we saw in our common sense thought number 3 today. That for the 1 and 2, the problems, the cause is the 3. What was the first common sense thought? Are we getting caught up in any of the habits? Thought 2 was the chronicness of all the diseases. Thought 3 was the cause of that is Jagat Satyatva Bhranti and not recognizing Brahman. They were till Jagat Mithyatva and Brahma Satyatva knowledge is strengthened. We have to keep on studying the same Upanishadic Shastras, same Yoga Vastishtha, Adi Shastras. Because then only there will be, under the light of that knowledge, when we pursue or perceive or visualize, we understand the position of things. Then we don't misplace the positions to suffer. Reality is only Brahman, everything is Maya. मजेदार बात क्या है, जिस जगत को देखकर जो बंदा डर रहा है, सफर हो रहा है, he himself also is kalpita. That is I. In fact, this I is the first culprit kalpita, after whom the aham, the mama is kalpita, and this aham mama beech mein, the aham is suffering because of this mama or idam. The pure infinite consciousness, these are all projected. See, as we are listening to this, some 10 more thousand times when we listen, it starts getting registered. Then when you start contemplating, it starts becoming meaningful. दिस इज हाउ वेदांत पकड़ के रखना है, छोड़ना नहीं, धीरे धीरे वो अंदर चल आता रहेगा नॉलेज. नाउ नेक्स्ट वन, इह सुप्तम इह आप इह पीतम इह आदत्तम इह आहृतम. सो दिस द प्लेस I was sitting, I was sleeping, I was talking, I was collecting the things and placing, I was feeding others, I was giving things to the others. all of that. Next, that son, Jyeshta Sharma. Esha me Jyeshta Sharmakhyaha putro roditi mandire. Esha me jangale dhenur dogdri charati shadvalam. See, Esha me Jyeshta Sharmakhyaha putra. See, he is my son by name Jyeshta Sharma. रोदिति मंदिर है, अब रो रहा है वो रूम में बैठ के, माता पिता नहीं है करके. She remembers all that. Esha me jangale dhenu. See, in that forest, you can see, my cow only it is. Dog three. Huh? That is the one which used to give me lot of milk. Charati shadvalam. It is grazing the grass. सब दिखा रही है वो सूक्ष्म. हाँ, योग शक्ति. हंसी मजाक में हम जिन लोगों के पैसे लेकर वापस नहीं किए, or any other thing, and they died. Now they must be coming with the friends and showing us. To this fellow only I gave money, he never gave me back. यहाँ होंगे बहुत सारे जीव लोग. हाँ, नथिंग इज इम्पॉसिबल, बट मोस्ट ऑफ देम आर नॉट हार्मफुल. ये सब योगी थोड़ी होते हैं, इसलिए सारा याद नहीं होते. दे आर जस्ट बिजी इन देयर ओन सर्वाइवल, नेक्स्ट स्टेज ऑफ एवोल्यूशन बिजी होते. Unless some very very need and importance is there, they don't disturb any of the jivas of this level. हाँ, चलता है. नेक्स्ट, गृहे वसंतदाहाय रूक्षक्षारविधूसरम स्वदेहमिव पंचाक्षम पश्येमं प्रघणम मम. शी इज showing her own house. Gruhe, Swadehamiva Panchaksham. This house is like my own Deha with Panchakoshas. It's so sacred to me. So, Vasanta Dahaya Rukshakshara Vidusaram. So, it is so dear to me, I used to take care of it. But now, people are not there to fully take care of it. Because of this hot sun, it is now so hot there. And all the greenery, kaho, neatness, kaho, everything is gone. Pasya imam praganam mama. She is taking the house tour. And in that she takes her to the kitchen. है ना? In the kitchen, exit जो है पीछे की तरफ से अंदर से भी, तो there she is showing that खंबा हो या something to watch that सब्जी है ना जो creeper पे होते हैं, वो लगाया मैंने. See, now you see that creeper has become so thick, yielding so many fruits. See, तुम्बी लताभिरुग्राभिः पुष्टाभिरिव वेष्टितं महासनस्था महानसस्थानमिदं मम देहमिव अपरम्. This Mahanasasthana, Mahanasa means kitchen. Mama Dehamiva Aparam. It was like another Sharira to me. That I am in this Sharira, and with this Sharira I am always in the kitchen only working. And in that kitchen garden, Tumbi Lata Bihi Ugra Bihi. Tumbi Lata. Tumbi क्या कहते हैं आप? लौकी वाला पेड़. पेड़ मतलब पौधा. तुम्बी मीन्स लौकी वाला फल. दो तरह के होते हैं ना, लंबा वाला भी, गोल वाला. So the Tumbi Lata, she must have put it, so it has grown and it has become thick, and maybe those things are grown. We had this in our childhood. है ना, गोल वाले होते थे वो, लौकी वाले, लंबे भी लौकी, ऐसे spread होकर. And here I see in one place every year during that time, they just put it, more than 100 of them I can see. If you want next time, I will take a video and show you. At least 40-50 तो होते हैं. There is a school, and next to that there is a shed above the servants' quarter. So it grows there. I can see Tumbi Lata Ugra as a proof. So Tumbi Lata bhi Ugra bhi Pushta bhi. Very Pushta Tumbi Latas are there. There Ugra also around this, the kitchen garden. You know, because those Loki वगैरह ना जल्दी बढ़ते हैं, and then one is enough for everybody family. इस तरह महानस स्थानमिदं मम देहमिव अपरम्. It is like another deha to me. This Tumbi Lata. And I remember those days of Uttarakashi also. There's not a huge developed kitchen garden, वो तो पहाड़ में ही था. But then that Swamiji used to send me there and collect all these things from. है ना? That sabji, what is that? करेला भी होता था वहाँ छोटे छोटे. And that one kundru नहीं, something like that type. And also these things. एक बार तो 10 किलो वाला इतना बड़ा हुआ, भंडारे पे यूज किया उसको। है ना, व्हेन आई टोल्ड हिम इतना बड़ा हुआ, ही टोल्ड मी नेक्स्ट मंथ भंडारा है ना, उस दिन हम इसको पकाएंगे। एंड रियली इट वाज इनफ फॉर द होल भंडारा। इट वाज सो बिग। Lata, she remembers. Then, lastly, ete rodana tamraksha bandhavo bhuvi bandhanam angadarpita rudraksha aharantyanalendanam. Ete, these are all rodana tamraksha bandhava, all my relatives whose aksha, the eyes became tamra red because of rodana crying. Bhuvi bandhanam, these are all my bandhus when I was in that Arundhati Sharira. Then Angada Arpita Rudraksha. They have removed all the ornaments. They are only wearing the Rudrakshas. Aharanti Anala Indhanam. So they are only taking the fire as the food, means their inner stomach is scorching with hunger, means they are not eating. Upavasa, because they are in that dukkha. And remember, आगे बताएंगे, Leela is born somewhere to some king, now married to this Padmaraja, and whole life they lived. Now the Padma died. Now she is there through Yoga Shakti invoked Sasti Mata. All of that in that other loka of Arundhati, when she died, it's only 8 days. सिर्फ 8 दिन ही है वहां। उस लोक के 8 दिन में ये लोक का पूरा एक जीवन हो गया। These are all the very mystical things when we keep listening. Our unnecessary hold and belief that this Deshakala alone is real, that is transcendent. Not only that, because of so many vyatyasas of differences like this and that, our intellect will be capable to analyze and understand and accept that all of them are kalpita only. Then what is the reality? That jijnasa will be born in us. Then you search it out, then you realize that. Then the only two things are understood. Reality always remains as it is, but its Maya Shakti is so powerful that it just does the kalpana of the entire thing without touching even an iota of the reality. मजेदार बात, ये वाला सत्य जो हम पिछले 6 साल से listening from all shastra, we start digesting them. Then I want to realize that self. With this thought, sit, go beyond one by one kosha through various sadhanas of Sakshi Bhava, etc. And it's a continuous process. जब तक होगा तब तक जन्म जन्म करते रहना. That's what you see the Rishi Muni, the saints, the sadhakas in all various pilgrim places in India. What they are doing is this only. 10 जन्म पहले they were be politicians, व्यापारीज. बट स्लोली दे बिकम साधकास इन ईच ऑफ लाइफ, लिटिल लिटिल कर रहे हैं. अब इस साल में फिलहाल वो लोग वहां इस स्थिति में दे आर डूइंग. व्हेन दे लीव बॉडी एंड दे गो टू द नेक्स्ट लेवल इन द ईच ऑफ द लाइफ, in different lokas, different places, wherever the Lord feels it's convenient for them for sadhana, he keeps on putting them. Like for you and I, this is a convenient way for our sadhana, so he has put us here. हम कर रहे हैं, एक दिन छोड़ेंगे और कहीं जाएंगे, वहां कंटिन्यू करेंगे. So all these knowledges when we gain, na, then our narrow petty intellect mind hooked up to this only small little life outside, we are freed from it. उसको हम उतना इम्पोर्टेंस नहीं देते हैं जो unnecessarily दे रहे थे. That not giving importance to the unimportant things is moksha. Bandhana is giving unnecessary importance. है ना? It's only ignorance, it's only delusion that all notions, projections, and we are caught up in self created web. Only wisdom is what to get out of all that nonsense, stay in the unchanging self. That's it. अब ये क्लिक होने तक शास्त्र ही सुनना पड़ेगा, और शास्त्र ही बात कहने में इट नेवर गेट्स टायर्ड. सो इन दिस वे एते रोदनताम्राक्षाः बन्धवः भुवि बन्धनम् अंगद अर्पित रुद्राक्षाः आहरन्ति अनल इंधनम. Then comes the description about the house also. Then, then she says, this is the house in this Akasha, in the Angushtamatra place, that Raja of mine, Padma and I was there. And in that also Akasha, the third Raja is there. Again, she expresses her desire to go there. Then both of them start traveling again. And that travel they cross all the Pancha Mahabhuta Brahmanda, then Pancha Mahabhuta Koshas, Surya Mandala, every mandala they cross. And then the different sublime Akasha is revealed to them. That is the meaning of Parama Akasha Varnanam, the title of this Sarga, which will come later. So यहाँ हम रोक देते हैं, कल पढ़ लेते हैं. सर्वम श्री रामादि गुरुनाम देवतानाम वशिष्ठादि गुरुनाम रामादि देवतानाम सरस्वत्यादि देवतानाम चरणारविंदार्पणमस्तु. ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. दिस इज एनफ टुडे. थैंक यू फॉर योर पेशेंस. गॉड ब्लेस यू. तो 2 दिन में हो जाएगा सर्ग. बस 3 दिन 4 दिन 5 दिन. One sarga of 60-70 shlokas is good speed, and as we told in the beginning today, we are reminded of the Shastra, the Sadguru, the Paramatma, the Paramalakshya, then all the Avidya Kruta Samsara, how all this happens. So these all knowledges are given to our intellect. So these classes that we are very substantial, very productive. So be regular in this, as per your choice and convenience. आ जाओ, let us study Vakyavritti.